2013. Barcelona. One of the greatest clubs in football history, yet they were struggling. On paper, they had Lionel Messi, the genius, the magician, the man carrying the team on his shoulders. But even Messi couldn't do it all alone. They had smashed La Liga the season before, racking up a record-breaking 100 points, Messi netting an astonishing 60 goals. Sounds incredible, right? But here's the problem, the rest of the squad weren't pulling their weight. David Villa, the second top scorer, managed just 16 goals. That meant all the pressure fell on Messi. And when it came to Europe, disaster. Barcelona were humiliated by Bayern Munich, losing 7-0 on aggregate in the Champions League. They also bowed out of the Copa del Rey, and to top it all off, finished second in La Liga behind Atletico Madrid. For the fans, it was a nightmare. For the club, it was a wake-up call. One man couldn't win everything. Something had to change, and the hunt for the perfect attacking trio was about to begin. Guys, take a quick break. Researching, writing, and assembling these movies takes a lot of work. I'm delving into historical games, statistics, interviews, everything. Do me a favor and hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying it. It doesn't cost you anything, yet it really helps me. Now, Barcelona knew they couldn't keep relying on Messi forever. They needed fresh blood, a new superstar, someone who could share the spotlight. And that's when they turned to Brazil's golden boy. Neymar Jr. This wasn't just a transfer. This was a statement. Neymar was the most hyped youngster in the world, the wonder kid from Santos, the face of Brazilian football, the lad with skills that could embarrass anyone. And in 2013, Barca beat half of Europe to get him. The pressure? Massive. Everyone expected Neymar to walk into the Camp Nou and instantly light it up. But let's be real, it wasn't easy. He had to adapt to Europe, adapt to a new system, and most importantly, adapt to playing alongside Messi. And the first season? Mixed. There were flashes of brilliance. The dribbles, the flair, the goals that made fans jump out their seats. But overall, Barcelona was still a team in transition. They finished the season empty-handed. No La Liga. No Copa. No Champions League. For Barca fans, it felt like another wasted year. But little did they know, the foundations were being laid. Neymar was settling in. Messi was still Messi, and Barcelona were about to bring in one final piece of the puzzle that would change football forever. Summer 2014. Barcelona were desperate. The Messi-Neymar partnership looked tasty, but it wasn't enough. They needed that final piece, a proper number 9, a killer in the box. Enter Luis Suárez. The Uruguayan hitman who'd just finished tearing up the Premier League with Liverpool, 31 goals, dragging them to the edge of a title. But this wasn't a smooth signing. Remember, Suárez had just beaten Chiellini at the World Cup. He was banned from football for 4 months. He was controversial. He was unpredictable. But one thing was certain, he was lethal. Barcelona took the gamble. 81 million euros. At the time, people called them crazy. Could Suárez even fit next to Messi and Neymar? Would the egos clash? Nobody knew. And it wasn't just Suárez. Barcelona also brought in a new manager, Luis Enrique. A former Barca player, fiery personality, a man who wasn't afraid to make big calls. He came in with a clear idea, pace, pressing, direct football. The perfect system for what was about to happen. At first, it was rocky. Suárez had to sit out until October, watching from the sidelines. Enrique and Messi clashed behind the scenes. There were rumors of tension, even talk that Messi wanted to leave. But then, when Suárez finally stepped onto the pitch and the three of them linked up for the first time, it just clicked. Messi, Suárez, Neymar. MSN. The most terrifying front three the game had ever seen was born. 2014-15. The year everything clicked. Messi dropped deeper, dictating play like a number 10. Neymar exploded with flair and goals. And Suárez? He was the warrior up top, pressing, scoring, fighting for every ball. Together, they tore La Liga apart. Barca took the title with 94 points. In the Copa del Rey final, Messi scored one of his greatest ever goals, dribbling from halfway, leaving defenders for dead. Neymar added the killer touch. And in Europe? Pure destruction. They smashed City, destroyed PSG, and humiliated Bayern Munich. Messi dropped bottom, Suárez ran wild, Neymar finished the job. Barcelona were champions of Europe again. The trio ended the season with 122 goals combined. Madness. MSN weren't just good, they were untouchable. Now you might think, after a treble, surely there's a drop-off. Nope. 2015-16, Barcelona carried on like machines. They won another La Liga title, another Copa del Rey, and they looked untouchable for months. While Messi was injured for 2 months, Suárez and Neymar kept Barcelona alive. That season, MSN scored 131 goals combined, even more than the year before. Suárez bagged 40 in the league, winning the Golden Boot ahead of both Messi and Ronaldo. Neymar was tearing teams apart with skill. Messi? Still the magician, dropping deep, scoring screamers, doing it all. But nothing lasts forever. By 2016-17, the cracks started to show. Barcelona were still dangerous, but the team around MSN was aging. Xavi had gone, Iniesta was slowing down, and the defense wasn't as strong. MSN were still carrying the attack, but they couldn't fix everything. That season, Barcelona produced one of the most iconic comebacks in football history, the 6-1 against PSG. Neymar was the hero that night. 2 goals, an assist for Sergi Roberto. He carried Barca through. But ironically, that match also planted the seeds for the end of MSN, because Neymar realized something: no matter how well he played, the spotlight at Barcelona would always be on Messi. And while MSN were still firing 111 goals that season, they lost La Liga to Real Madrid, and they went out of the Champions League in the quarters again. Summer 2017. The bombshell. Neymar was gone. Paris Saint-Germain paid his release clause €222 million. The biggest transfer in football history. For Barca fans, it felt like betrayal. Neymar was supposed to be Messi's heir. Instead, he left to escape Messi's shadow, to try and win a Ballon d'Or of his own. And just like that, MSN was finished. 3 years of pure chaos, joy, domination gone in an instant. Barcelona tried to replace him with Dembélé, later Coutinho, even Griezmann. But let's be honest, it was never the same. So what's the legacy of MSN? In just 3 seasons, they scored over 350 goals together. They won 2 La Liga titles, 3 Copas del Rey, a Champions League, a Club World Cup, and most importantly, they redefined what an attacking trio could be. Messi, Suárez, Neymar. 3 superstars, 3 egos, but 1 unstoppable unit. For many, the greatest front 3 in history. And here's the scary part: we may never see anything like it again. In today's football, with egos, transfers, and money dominating the game, a trio like MSN feels impossible.